What's up, Raven friends? It has been such a long time. Yeah, so sorry that it's been so long. I don't even know what my excuse is this time. But I wanted to make a video. If you read the description from my little mini clip that I put of my Summerween kitchen before and after video, I did say in that description that I was going to do a little update video as well as kind of try to wrap up my sort of failed attempt at a book club, my Raven book club. So that's what this is. I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a life update, let you guys know why I was gone for so long, why I didn't post anything or make any videos, why I didn't keep up with my Raven book club as much as I wanted to. As well as I don't want to completely abandon my idea of the Raven book club because I really wanted to do that. And mostly I really wanted to talk about some of the books that I read that are really my favorites. So that's what I'm going to do today. Instead of me being able to do one book a month, which I should have known I was not going to be able to commit to that. That is actually my specialty. Commitment or failure to commitment is my specialty. If you're a Pisces like me, Pisces specialty is starting projects and not completing them. That is the menu specialty for a Pisces. So I tend to do that a lot. But I didn't want to not talk about my favorite books because these books are books that I hold near and dear to my heart. So I really wanted to talk about those, but I also knew I wasn't going to be able to do like a 1 month or one book a month sort of deal. So I guess I'll start a little bit with a life update. So we moved. I did let you guys know that in the video before the last one that I posted. We did move. The move really got hectic. Trying to settle in. Oh my God. So much stuff to do. It still doesn't even feel like I've fully settled in to our new place, our new town where we moved to. What else? Kids, getting them re-registered for school, helping them, get used to school again, or to their new schools at least, and their new teachers, at least for my youngest, or not my youngest, my second youngest, Cassandra, just because she's still very little. So there was a lot of trying to help her. She was nervous about making friends, although she didn't need to because she's such a social butterfly, just like her dad. They make friends quick and easy, and she made so many friends with everybody, the entire school. So she was good there, but she was just very nervous the first day. So there was that. Also, packing lunches every night, still unpacking. Oh God, everything. The total solar eclipse, I feel like that threw me off way bad too. Like that completely threw me off. By the way, I chopped my freaking bangs. I went from, and as you can see, I have them tied back. They're grown out now, but yes, the solar eclipse made me do it. I chopped my bangs, which I completely regret it because I didn't realize how much they annoy me, just the feeling of them being like that. So, yeah, there's that. What else? I mean, God, just life in general just had me so overwhelmed and so consumed with everything. Another sort of big life update. I'm really excited to say that I was really thinking about what my future is going to be like and what am I going to do, because my kids aren't always going to be young. They're going to grow up eventually. They're going to move out and start their own lives. I have to take into consideration that after that, yes, I will always be their mom and be there for them, but I have to understand that I have to do something. What am I going to do? Because I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just, I have to figure out who I am and what I'm going to do also. And my husband and I were minimum wage jobs. These days, yes, they help people get by. Actually, I don't even know if they do really. it's good for some, but for others, if you're somebody like me who's most of your time is committed to your kids, it's really difficult. It is really difficult to get by on a minimum wage job while still trying to be a mom. And to those of you out there who do it, man, I hold you way up here, because it is not easy committing your time to a company that wants you there on their hours, when they say what they say, commitment to 100% their company, and they don't want to understand that you're a mom and that your kids should also come first too. I hold you way up here for being able to commit to that and still being a mom, because it is not an easy thing to do. So kudos to you, ladies, or even, you know, if you're a dad and you know, those are the things that you do. But it's not easy, and me, I had to take into consideration, I knew that's just not something that I can do. I'm 31 years old. I'm not going to go to college. Again, this is not saying that if you're 31, you can't go to college. This is for me personally. I knew that that was something that I wasn't going to be able to commit to either, being the age that I am. And again, not that if you're 31 or older and you're going to college, not that it's not doable. But me personally, I just knew that's something I wasn't going to be able to commit to. So I started doing some research, and being that my husband is in commission sales, he's a car salesman. He does so good. He's such a people person. He's such a, he learns so quickly, and he connects to these people, and he's just so good at what he does. And I learned so much from him. He went from being 10 years in the golf course, a little bit of a background story to us, but he went from being 10 years in the golf course, and he loved it. He was, he wanted to do school turf management. He just has such a love for, he looks at grass and trees and things like that as it's a living organism, as he says. They're living things just like us. And he had such a passion for it. And he went from that to, you know, it just wasn't working out for us financially, to he went to sales. And that's a huge jump. And he learned so quickly. And seeing him do that, like, it motivated me so much. And he's been in sales now for almost 4 years now. And seeing how much he's learned, he comes home and he tells me these stories, and I really do listen to him. I learn as much as I can from him, and he actually inspires me. And I started to think, if he can do something like that, I know I can too, because I've learned so much from everything that he's told me, all the stories that he's told me, and everything that he teaches me. And I know that I can apply it myself. Sorry that it's dragging out into a long story, but to get to the point, what I did is I decided I wanted to do life insurance, because you get to help people who are in situations where, you know, life and health insurance, these are things that people need. You never know. You can't predict the outcome of life. And much like our move here was very unpredictable. And it definitely left us we were kind of like, oh my gosh, it really shook up our world. That started getting me thinking too. And I'm like, man, you have to be prepared in life for anything and everything at any moment. Things can change like that. So all of that combined just really got me thinking. And I really decided this is something I would love to do. Not only do I get to make good money, but I also get to help people in providing them with products that they, you know, that are going to be very helpful and useful to them and their families and their loved ones, you know, whether it be life insurance or health insurance. So I connected with a company. I got hired through them. I enrolled in a course, and I have been working on it since then. I completed my course. I'm so excited to say that I took my state exam and I passed it. Woo! I passed my state exam, and I was so nervous. I was so freaking nervous. I studied so much. There were so many nights of me staying up till 2:30, almost 3 in the morning, studying, completing courses, and it's so exciting to say that it felt good to accomplish something, especially again for someone like me, like I said, a Pisces, I'm so used to just starting projects and not finishing them, not completing them. And that always leaves me feeling so, like, just so low about myself. And I wanted to do this also to kind of prove to myself, not just to do it for my kids and for our future and for things like that and for my husband, but I also wanted, it meant a lot to me to prove to myself that I could do something like this. And so, I mean, I'm still riding the high on it. I'm so glad I passed that test because I worked so hard for it. But yeah, so that's what's been also keeping me very busy lately. Right now, I am kind of just stuck in, it is still an ongoing process. I'm waiting for my license. I've passed my exam, but as you know how it goes, you have to actually buy your exam. So I've got to do that, and I've got to do a couple other trainings that they're going to enroll me into. None that I have to pay for after that point, you know. I've already done my course and everything. But I'm just waiting to do the rest of that. And so I figured while I'm waiting, and it's driving me crazy sitting here not knowing what to do, and went from being extremely busy to have this free time, I figured why not talk about books. I might try to get myself into reading a book even if I don't finish it. But just something to keep me busy for the meanwhile. Yeah. So that's the life update. Again, sorry guys that I kind of just went MIA on you guys. I wanted to keep posting stuff. It was killing me every day, but I didn't know how to fit all of that into my schedule. And I also had to prioritize what was really important. And for me, that was completing that course. Yeah. So let's get back into my Raven book club, my sort of makeshift, so it doesn't completely fail, Raven book club. Let's talk about my favorite books. Okay, so I kind of just chose 3 that are my sort of top favorites in my collection right now. 2 of them are spooky books because I love scary books. It's probably my most favorite genre. Scary books and then self-help books. So I picked my 2 scary books, and then the other one is sort of like a self-help, sort of self-love book that's near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to start with the spooky ones first, being that it is officially Summerween and everybody's already doing their summer Halloween decor hunting. Lucky for you guys, there's not really anything here where I'm from. It's a small town. But anyways, so my top favorite is going to be The Winter People. So I'm going to hold it up right here. The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. I love this author. Let me tell you, she is, to me, I describe her in the words of, she's the female Stephen King. She is the female version of Stephen King. I kid you not. Her books and her writing style and her story themes very much align with Stephen King himself. So if you're somebody who likes Stephen King books, I encourage you to take a look at her books because hers fall a lot into that category. They're very creepy, they're very mysterious, they're great. I love her books. And I read a couple of them by her, but this was the very first one that I ever read by her. And I just picked it up at a store. I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I think the cover really drew me in, seeing that it was like kind of spooky branches and it was like a snowy, misty sort of winter kind of town. I thought, ooh, this looks interesting. Let me get it. And boy, was I was not disappointed with this one. I'll say that. I had got it around the time, it was like a couple weeks before October. So it was perfect for my spooky month book that I like to do. I like to read a spooky book during the month of October, and reading it was such a thrill. I don't want to give too much away about it, but it does kind of go back and forth in between present day and past day of, let me see, I think it's like the 1800s. No, early 1900s. So starts around winter of 1908, it says here. It's kind of a small town, very small town, where there's kind of a place in the woods that's very mysterious. Some magical crap happens there. And this mother gives birth to her daughter. And, you know, after, you know, back in the days, there were a lot of complications. Health wasn't as you know, as up to date as what it is today. So a lot of illnesses, they would die from a lot of illnesses. And the mom just, every time she would give birth, her babies would not survive. And she finally gives birth to her daughter. And they had such a close relationship. I mean, mother-daughter, talk about mother-daughter relationship. She loved her so much. And, her daughter happens to die. Again, I'm not going to give away the whole details, but her daughter does pass away, and we'll give it a little bit of Pet Sematary vibes, we'll say. And her daughter comes back to life. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's not exactly Pet Sematary, okay, guys? She did not copy off Pet Sematary of Stephen King. I know I said she reminds me a lot of Stephen King, her writing styles, but I promise you it's not Pet Sematary. You gotta read it and you'll see what happens. But oh man, it just had me so drawn all the way till the end. The way everything just blew up at the end did not fail. And I'll tell you what, the last chapter that I read was actually on Halloween night after we had got back from taking our then we only had one child. It was my oldest son, and we had got back from taking him trick-or-treating, and everyone was going to bed and everything, and I had all the lights off in the room, and I just had this book and my little book light reading it. And it was such a windy and creepy night that night too, and there was like so much going on, so much noise outside from the wind, that it made the whole reading experience even better. But the end just whoosh, and I dropped my book. Anyways, so that's all I'm going to say about that, because I really encourage you guys to take a look, read the book, because it's so good. It's really good. All right, the next book that I'm going to talk about is I'm going to do my self-help sort of self-love book. Okay. This one is called The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Diffenbaugh. I always do this. I have the camera facing me and I put items in front and it's like reverse. Anyways, I'll take a picture and also link all these books in the description for you guys. But The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Diffenbaugh. This one is near and dear to my heart. This is very much, not only is it about flowers, and like it even gives you a dictionary in the back about different meanings of flowers, but it is also very much about the adoption system and kids who are in foster care and kids who are left without their parents and who are given up for adoption. So this one is it's just so heartwarming, the story of it, because it centers on this young girl who was given up by her mother at actually when she was born. So she has no memory of who her real mother is or father. They don't even really mention the father. Her mom just left her as a baby. And she bounced back and forth from one foster family to another, one family that would adopt her and then they would give her up. So it was very heartbreaking. So her trust in people in general is just shattered completely. She has no trust in the outside world, in anybody whatsoever. So she turns to flowers as her language. She doesn't really talk to anybody. She's not a mute or anything like that. It's just that she just doesn't trust anybody, so she will not speak to anybody. And the only way that she would, if be, which she does obviously begin to at some point in the story without giving too much away, is through flowers. She'll hand a person a flower, and the meaning of that flower is what she's trying to say to you. And she does come across one person that does adopt her, who happens to be, she is a very lovely lady, who actually is the one who kind of began teaching her about flowers, and she owns a vineyard, and she has this magnificent garden, and it's just the lady herself that's raising her. However, their relationship becomes shattered too, because once again, she has never learned to fully trust anybody, so she kind of keeps closing this wall around her, won't let the lady come close to her. And I'm not gonna say, because I don't want to give away the major points of the book, but it ends up not working out for them, and something major happens that kind of tears them apart, where she's forced to have to go back into the system. It's just very, very heartbreaking, and she kind of has to learn to love herself in order to learn to trust and love other people. And she does meet someone also in the book that she falls in love with, a boy. And oh, I don't want to give up too much, but I'll say it. She ends up having a baby of her own. That's all I'm going to say. You have to read the book to find out, does she keep the baby? Does she give the baby up for adoption also? How does this play out? So read the book. My final top pick from my books, I'm going to go back to Jennifer McMahon, because again, I love scary books, thriller books, mysterious books. Those are my thing, especially around Halloween time. I have to read my spooky book for Halloween time. So I'm going back to Jennifer McMahon with The Night Sister. This one was really good. Also very creepy. I'll let you take a look at the cover. This one is a little bit about shapeshifters. This book right here. Again, I'm not going to give away too much, because I hope that I am encouraging some of you guys to read some of these books that I've read. But about shapeshifters, and obviously about sisters. So this one was very creepy. It does take place in a small, I think in Italy. Is it Italy? Vermont is where it says, I think. Oh, okay, so yeah, London, Vermont. Sorry, my bad. London, Vermont. It also takes place in the 1950s, so it's got that little bit of 50s vibes to it. And a majority of it takes place in a little lighthouse out on a farm. It does have some of the characters are childhood friends who kind of talk about some things that they went through, and kind of a severing of a relationship between them. I don't want to give away too much, but this one was really good also if you're somebody who's into shape-shifting. Very, very, very good book to read. So these are my 3 picks. I love Jennifer McMahon books because they're just so creepy. They're just that perfect amount of creepiness, and with that writing style of Stephen King. Again, to me, she is the female Stephen King. And The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Diffenbaugh. So yeah, that's wrapping up my top 3 favorite books for my book collection. I do have more, as you can see up here. I have plenty of other books. At least those are the ones that I've kept over the years. I have gotten rid of a lot of books. It was a really hard thing to do, but I've kept most of the ones that are very special to me. We'll see what happens from here on out. I'll try my best to keep up with videos and see what other ideas I can come up with. But please bear with me. I don't know, maybe next time we'll talk about my spooky magazine collection, because I do have a collection back here of some spooky magazines and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that next time. Oh, another update. I also did I did my Raven lamp. I actually spray painted it black. I was not really feeling the whole white spooky branch anymore. I did kind of tweak it a little bit to I zip tied my Raven bird on there. You probably can't see it because it's all dark and black, and I don't have it plugged in right now at the moment, but I found a way to put the cord and the bird. He is holding the light bulb, so really happy with how that turned out. The light bulb does go out every now and then though, so I think the light bulb's giving out, so I don't know, I might have to replace it. But there's the update on that also. I love the way it came out. We'll see what other things, other video ideas I come up with. Spooky season is almost here. Everybody's doing their spooky decor hunting already. Those that have a Joann's and Michael's, everybody's talking about those lines, and it's bittersweet for me because I'm so glad that people do these videos, and this is why I do watch these kinds of videos, because it's for those of us, you know, I did used to have access to a Joann's and Michael's and all of that, but now that we've moved to a smaller town, I have to rely on like Walmart. We have one Ross, one Big Lots, you know, Lowe's, Home Depot. Those are the ones that I'm going to have to rely on, and a lot of like small thrift stores. But for those that have access to those lines, watching those videos is bittersweet to me. I'm so glad that people out there like to make these kinds of videos, because I get to see these lines without being able to have access to going into those stores. But it's also very making me jealous. I guess a little bit of my opinion on those lines from watching the videos. I was not feeling the Michael's Gothic line. I didn't like it myself personally. I didn't like the plaid and pink. It was a little bit too much. Some of the items also, I know the typewriter was supposed to be kind of like, I think they were trying to throw a spin into it from Wednesday, the Wednesday Addams from Netflix, Wednesday. But I just wasn't feeling it too much. The Joann's line, I was feeling that one. I was feeling it's very spiritual, celestial, spiritual, which I am very much interested in that as well. So there was a lot of things that I had seen in people's videos from the Joann's line that I really, really, really liked. So those are my opinions on that one. I guess if I had to pick a favorite, I'm going to go with Joann's over Michael's for those Gothic, spooky, early spooky season lines that they came out with. And definitely looking forward to checking out some of the other videos that people post on YouTube that do the spooky decor hunting for Joann's, Michael's, Home Goods, all those that I lost access to. I might try to throw in a couple and do my own. I've never done it, and I've always wanted to. We'll see how that turns out, though. It also depends on my schedule, where I'm at with my life and health insurance path, I guess we'll call it. But we'll see. I would really, if I don't record anything, I'm definitely still gonna go out spooky decor hunting, even if I don't record anything or make any videos. I don't know, I might just snap some pictures, but I always love to go check out stuff anyways. So don't know if I'll commit to it. Again, I'm terrible at commitment, so might commit to doing videos on it, might not. I don't know. But will I be spooky decor hunting? Yes or no? Yes, definitely yes. Well, that's about it for this video, this YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you liked the video. If you didn't, no worries. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. But yeah, definitely check out the next one. Stay tuned, and it was great to see you guys. See you later, Raven friends. Bye.